Hi everybody, thanks for coming this morning. My name is Heather Reichel. Now first a little bit about me. This class is all about the iPhone. 3 years ago, I've worked for WJET and Fox 66 out of Erie, which is the ABC and Fox affiliates. 5 years now, it's hard to believe. And 3 years ago, I was filming with my tripod, my Nikon full frame camera, my 24-70 lens, external light, as well as a microphone. And as you can imagine, breaking news meant I was breaking my back to get to the scenes. It was heavy, it was cumbersome, it was intrusive, and people looked at me like, whenever I threw the camera in their face for an interview. Well, one day I was on a scene and the power lines came down, thus cutting me off from my vehicle, which was where my iPad was. And I used the little dongle to upload to the station. Well, that was a problem. Half of a city block is on fire. I have a station that is screaming for footage and I can't get my stuff there. So I grabbed my iPhone. Because the best camera is the one that you can use and you have with you. So I grabbed my iPhone and I started filming, and I was able to edit and upload to our station on my phone. And they raved about it. Best footage you've sent. I'm like, are you kidding? I have been seriously breaking my back carrying all this gear. So, this is my iPhone. And this is the pack that stays in my car. Between these two things, I have an entire news studio in my pocket, basically. Now, a lot of this class is going to be about the do's and the don'ts. What to get, what not to get. Because there are a lot of stuff out there. Lots of gadgets, gadgets, and all that. Apps. Everybody wants their piece of the iPhoneology prize, and they're not all they're cracked up to be. They're really not. The first thing that I want to go over is this handy little thing. Everybody's heard of the gimbals. Well, this one is made by DJI, which also makes the drones. This particular gimbal will fit up to an iPhone 8 Plus, which is what I'm currently running. By expanding without having to add weights. So by turning this will come out to counterbalance any phone you have, or come in if you have a smaller one. The nice thing with this is that once this is mounted, it will also zoom your camera because it creates its own Wi-Fi that the iPhone will connect to. So it will zoom in and out your phone natively. It's also one of the lesser expensive ones out there at about $125, and I've put links in there to show different things that I'm talking about. I have filmed whole commercial television commercials with this and my phone. So this is the one that I use. The other option, if you have an older iPhone, maybe like a 6, and it's not 1080p, or it is 1080p but not 4K. This is the 4K Osmo, same brand, only this one uses your phone as a viewfinder, and the camera is actually here, and it goes to an external memory card. Remember, that one is only going to hold the video that your phone has the memory capabilities of doing. This one is going to hold a video for whatever capabilities you have with your memory cards. So this is a nice option. This is the Osmo, and there's an Osmo Plus, which will zoom, which I wish I had sprung for that one, just so you know. But the nice thing with this is they have the option of an external battery. This one is rechargeable, but once your battery is done, you have to charge it. This one has a multitude of options with an external battery. You can use it again in just the time that it takes for you to switch. They sell a gazillion accessories for this little thing right here. And I probably have them all. But this is really the only one that you need. This one hooks right onto here and gives you the option for 2 hot shoes without disassembling this entire thing to fit it back into the nice little carry case that it comes with. So honestly, all the rest of them are kind of a waste of time. The other nice thing with this is that this portion is removable. When you remove it, you then have the option for a cable. Now, how I use this is to get rid of having to use a gib crane. This is a monopod called a Mogo pod. Now the Mogo pod has the option of closing very easily. And you can set different heights. This comes off, you can use it as a tripod, you can use it as a monopod. You can also attach it to a belt and use it as a mic boom. So this is the other option. What I like to do with it is I like to take this portion, stick the cable end on with a little Osmo, and then right here, just take one of these handy little things. We probably all have one at some point in our pockets. Hook it here, and then I can put the base up here, and I can run the Osmo from any height and see what I'm doing down here. The other handiest thing that I have found is everybody's seen the selfie sticks. I actually have 2. I have this one, and I have one that fits in my go-to bag that is exactly the same as this, only a little shorter. Well, the nice thing is that most of the selfie sticks, unbeknownst to people, if you unscrew this, suddenly will screw onto here. So if you can imagine, if you have 2 of them, now, you know, how far up do you really want to go? If you're in a crowd and you're trying to get an overhead view and you're in an area where there is no option for a drone, I can attach a couple of these. I can throw my iPhone up there. I can throw the gizmo, the Osmo, anything up there. And you've suddenly just extended your reach. So that's a handy little thing to know. Check your selfie sticks. Many people don't realize you unscrew that, because you know they all have handles. But a lot of times, if they're a good stick, they have the 1/4 thread on the bottom. So that's just a little tip there. Now, you may have noticed that my iPhone's a little thicker. This is an outer box case, but it has a unique feature. This particular case has the option of attaching a tripod mount right to the case. It's very, very secure. Probably should have gotten that out earlier. This little piece right here, now this is called a universe case. This little piece right here fits right in here. And suddenly, you have both portrait as well as a vertical orientation for filming. If you do not have the option, well, Siri didn't know what I said. If you do not have the option to get one of these cases, because you have a newer phone, there is also the option, and I have tried many of the different iPhone, or I should say universal cell phone tripod mounts. Everybody knows what they are. Do you trust your nearly $1,000 phone with a $14 piece of plastic? I have many times been leery about holding my phone out to get that cool shot of the car driving down the road or something. Or I actually held my cell phone out over the Animas River on a train at a 250-foot complete sheer drop. And I was okay with doing it. The one little thing that I use more than anything is this little Manfrotto. Got it actually at B&H Photo on a trip to New York City because I was able to touch, feel, and hold it, which made a big difference to me. This will fit up to an iPhone 8 Plus in a thinner case. It gives you a cold shoe mount. It locks down, and it is cast aluminum. That is probably I will pass this around. You can test and check. The thing that I do is when I upgrade my phones, keep my old one. So I always have one that's free. So I can run the drone, I can run the Osmo, I can run a second camera setup, I can do anything. I have iPhones that I just retired, but they're still 4K. This is the 7 Plus. It goes into service. So there's a little thing, if you guys want to pass that around to look at. One thing that is very useful with the iPhones is the fact that they are the viewfinder. Yes?
I actually want to ask a question. You said you had a second phone. Does that second phone have to be aligned with the same thing as with an AT&T or whatever?
No, actually, because I'm on Verizon, I will hotspot this one to run this one. So I can still run the drone that is requiring my GPS service, but I will use my primary phone as a hotspot. Now, if I've got a drone up 200 feet in the air and I suddenly get a phone call and I'm running it with this phone because I forgot to put it into airplane mode, well, my little airplane is just going to kind of sit up there and I hope it comes back. That's why it's you either put your phone in airplane mode, but if you happen to forget, or you run a second device. And it can be an iPhone, iPad. My eyes are getting to the point where I actually use my iPad to run the drones rather than my iPhone. Gives me a larger surface, a bigger vision, larger view. I use Switcher Studio with my iPhones, and I will set up multiple cameras, including my iPad. All right. Like I said, the iPhone is the viewfinder. It is the key to unlocking a whole nother world. There's an app for Nikons that it instantly downloads all your photos, so it's an external monitor. There is the GoPros, which a lot of people are like, yeah, but they're spherical and they're not good quality. This is a 4K, and I can change this from a really wide angle to just a wide angle. It makes a great second camera for close quarters. Okay, don't discount these little things. And they're coming down in price, which is really good. Things got moved around a couple times, so. Sound. The onboard sound on an iPhone is terrible. Yes, it is. is absolutely horrific. There are several microphones available aftermarket. This one right here there's a link in there. It's a wonderful little microphone. It does great sound. It's not very directional, but it is directional in a respect of it's going to pick up everything that's in like a 70-degree spray in front of you. It's great for news. It's not maybe the best for interviews. For interviews, I use a Rode lav. It's a smart lav. Now, oftentimes people will clip these with the big, and I've done it too, clip them with the big one right here. And that's fine, it works. But I picked up a neat little trick, and you know, you're always borrowing from other filmmakers. The best thing for a lav mic, iPhone or otherwise, so this is like for all of them. I did this to be cute. Let's see if I can get it off here. Okay, we all carry a Sharpie or a wipe off if you're using a mat board. We all carry some kind of spherical, and I should have, need the little T. Well, anyway, what I'm gonna do, obviously this is duct tape. Doesn't stick to itself very well, but the thing about this is if you take a piece of duct tape, do you remember the old paper footballs? Make a paper football. Sticky side out. Once you've got two of these, take your lav and stick it about 1/4 of an inch down. Now take your other paper football and stick it on the other side. Then attach it to the inside of their clothing and the chest. Now, if they are hairy-chested, hope they have a t-shirt on. But what this does is it keeps the wind noise down as well as the clothing noise. So when they're moving, you don't get that across the lav. So that's just a little tip I picked up. Works great with the smart lavs, because what I do is, quite honestly, there's a lot of things that I want to get for my business. The wireless microphones is one of them. But I don't have $1,300 right now to plop on a good set. So what I will do is I will take my second phone, plug this in and stick it in their back pocket. Now, later, I just have to sync the audio and the video. And I've got a wireless mic. And I can actually run this with my watch until it's recorded. Because the Rode mic will actually record natively into the iPhone's camera, which I can run from my watch. So there's just a little tip for those that are doing interviews or live action shots where other people are moving around. Now, I have not tested this one yet, it just came, but a friend of mine uses the Boya, which is 1/3 of the cost. And as well as the fact that it comes with a longer cord so that you have more distance available. You will need one of the little dongles that came with your phone, Lightning to mic or headphone jack, in order for any of these to work. This particular one, the nice thing is that there is an option for a dual. And the dual is only $29. So that gives you the option of running 2 sound imports to 1 iPhone. So that's the Boya. And if anybody wants a link to that, it's not on the paper. I can show you where it's at. This little thing, I did put a link in because this is saved me more than once. When I use the Manfrotto, I put this on here because I can then add lights or an external microphone. And I use the little ProMaster lights because one, they're bright as heck, but they're adjustable. So there isn't too many situations that you're gonna need more light than that if you're interviewing. And I won't turn it the other way because I'll tell you what, you're gonna see spots. So be considerate, don't turn it on and have them looking at you. Turn it on and then kind of rotate it to them so their eyes adjust. It does have the option of filters. I have found that I just leave this one on because it is a harsh, cool light. Now there are dual temperature lights out there, there's all sorts of things. One of the reasons I stuck with the ProMaster is that our local camera store carries ProMasters, and a lot of local camera stores do, and I try to support local if I can. So there's options everywhere. The biggest thing is dimmability as well as portability. If it's too big, it's not going to do you any good if you're filming with iPhone, because the whole point is everything should fit into one bag. Now I brought everything with me to show you guys. When I am filming, this is it. This is the biggest bag I need. I can even put my drone on the outside. So if you are taking more than this and you're filming with an iPhone, take a look at what you're using, because you're probably using things that you may not need to carry around with you. Who knows what this is?
IKEA egg thing.
Yes, it
Egg
is.
timer.
Yes, it is.
I've used it for the same reason.
Time lapse.
Yeah.
iPhones have a great time lapse video. Mount your little tripod head. I use a GoPro one because I also film it with a GoPro. But with the GoPros, you also have the option of just your standard mount. So, set it, forget it, and the timer will go off, and it's not actually catching the timer noise, so it doesn't really matter. Just set it out there, get your nice little sweeping, go do whatever you're gonna do. If you have two iPhones, great. If you don't, set it up on an iPad. Let's not forget the iPad will also go to a tripod. And you know, if you've got the equipment, why not use it? It's probably in your bag anyway to download your images. So why not utilize the tools that are out there to expand what they can do? Underwater video. Oh my God, you're gonna take your phone underwater. Well, you can. And again, I have tested a lot of bags, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if Aquapack is watching this, thank you. Best bag ever. I'm gonna tell you right now. I have taken this to the beach. It has been abrasive. It has had sand on it. It has saved my phone. And yes, you can use the phone. The key is, because it's a capacious screen, start the recording before you go under the water, and then just trim it. Because once you're under the water, it's not gonna feel your fingers. So start recording, go underwater, and go ahead and don't don't be afraid. And with the new phones, they're actually water resistant. I would hazard waterproof up to 10 meters. I wouldn't want to test it. I would still say, go ahead and get something for waterproofing. I can honestly say I have never had this fail me in all the times I have used it, and has been multiple times. This is a nifty little thing for those that want to extend maybe the macro, the whatever. This is made by Alm. It actually puts your iPhone with 35 millimeter I think, yeah, it's 35 millimeter thread camera lenses for camcorders. You can actually pop your phone in there, and then you've got the option for different lenses, as well as your trusty little, camera strap if you want to do that, and tripod mount. It's cast aluminum. I will warn you, it's heavy. You are not going to lose your phone. Very sturdy. There's that. Here's the lens cap for that particular one. You might wonder why I would carry electrical tape in my little repertoire of bags. How many times have you been in a shot? I'm just gonna put it out there. Let's say you're doing a shot where a character goes up to a refrigerator. And they open the refrigerator and they look in. Have you ever seen the shot where the next scene they're actually looking at you? They're peering in the refrigerator, but you're getting the food's view. Mm-hmm. Well, electrical tape is sticky, but it's not so sticky. And the neat thing with this is you can actually tape your phone to a milk carton, or to the back of a cupboard. Or if you've got a scene where you have a subject going to a door to open it, you tape it to the door, and as they're opening it, you get a smooth glide as to what they see as well. So it's just a neat little vantage point. I wouldn't use it all the time, but it's one of those shots that might just add that makes you look like you've got a full crane and a gib crew and a dolly and a key grip and all those people that are in the credits that I don't even know what they do. And I suspect some of them get coffee. But we're indie filmmakers. We don't have those budgets. We don't have that equipment. We don't have anything like that. So we make do. If you have polarized sunglasses on your face and you put them onto your iPhone, it will cut the glare into the water. It will cut the glare into a car window. If you've got an external sound recorder, which I do carry that because I actually had a movie not make it to its highest pinnacle because of sound. Wasn't anything I could do about it after the fact. So I do carry this with me, the handy Zoom 4 HN4, because it's easy, it's quick, it's portable. I don't need 12 channels. I usually am 2. And I never throw away my Q-tip travel case because it will exactly hold 8 those AA batteries, 6 of them. So never throw those away. I'm all about recycle, reuse, and how can we do this the best.